Here are some of the books on my TBR that keep jumping out at me. Literally, I think they're haunted. Year of the Witching by Alexis Henderson. I feel like I have been carrying around this book and I just need to read it. I've read House of Hunger by this author and I loved it. Year of the Witching is about a woman living in a puritanical society, but then she gets in touch with the spirits of witches who have been killed in the past. I feel like the universe is giving me signs to read Boys in the Valley because it keeps appearing on all of my social media, but I am genuinely afraid to read it. This book is set in a remote orphanage where some strangers arrive on the doorstep one night, maybe carrying a touch of the occult about them. Our Share of the Night is a thick book, but again, I keep getting recommendations from people asking, have I read it? The plot is hefty, but has anyone else read this and how much did you love it? The Good People by Hannah Kent. This is a second-hand copy which explains the cover. My friend lent it to me. I'm pretty sure she dropped it in the bath. I feel like I'm putting off this book to find the perfect time to read it because Hannah Kent is such a beautiful writer, set in Ireland and focusing on changeling lore. I know I am going to love this and I really should just bite the bullet and get on with it. This may be a cheat because I've started Lost in the Garden, but I was quite thrown as I was expecting something different going into it. This has been sold to me as a great hazy folk horror dreamlike book, but from the start it was giving me 28 Days Later vibes, but with ghostly things. What are the vibes of this book going forward? Anyone else who's read this? This is another second-hand copy of Night Waking, Support Your Local Charity Bookshops, people, by the brilliant writer Sarah Moss. I absolutely loved Ghost Wall, which is a fantastic folk horror story. I've heard this is a great book about motherhood, and even though that's not my favourite genre, Sarah Moss is such an exquisite writer. I really can't wait to read this. And of course, now that I've highlighted these specific books, I will now go to my TBR shelf, pick out a stack of completely new ones, and those will become my obsession.